Hello Dowson, I'm Franklin Marquette.
And I'm Jordan Green.
A couple weeks ago, our TV3 class took a trip to the notorious York Fair.
While there, we saw some extreme pogo sticking and watched an intense puppy race.
We ate some unique grilled cheese sandwiches followed by some great homemade ice cream.
Stay tuned because in this week's show, we will take a look at all of these things and a whole lot more.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Because this is your Wildcat Connection.
Hey Jordan, remember when we were waiting in line for fried gummy bears and we saw those guys fly by on pogo sticks?
Yeah, I think Magdalena and David got a chance to chat with them and found out they just got back from competing in Sweden.
Here's the story.
So make some noise for Tom! It started off as just a hobby, and then it just got bigger and bigger, and now it's a sport that people actually want to see.
When you think of extreme sports, skateboarding or surfing might come to mind, but a new kind of extreme sport made its way to the York Fair this year.
When I was younger, I would try BMX, I'd try skateboarding. I mean, I was good at those things, but nothing I was ever great at. I started messing around on a pogo stick one day after I saw a video online. Just imitating everything that I could do in the video, and now, like 9 years later, I'm doing it as my job. It's my full-time job. It's my career. I love doing it.
We both grew up in Florida together, and then we both just kind of grew up pogoing, like we became friends. And then Brian too, he's, I don't know where he is, but it started off as just a hobby, and then it just got bigger and bigger, and now it's a sport that people actually want to see. So it's kind of cool how it grew like that.
In fact, Michael and Tone came from the Extreme Pogo World Championships in Sweden just to perform at the York Fair.
We'd go on tour doing shows, but we also go on tour having competitions as well. The competition that we have is called Pogo Palooza, and this past year was the first year that we actually had more than one. So we had the first leg of Pogo Palooza was in Montpellier, France. The second leg was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and then the third leg was actually just 2 weeks ago in Helsingborg, Sweden. So we travel a lot. We go all over the world. We've performed in 17 different countries. So, it's pretty crazy.
You might not believe that something as crazy as X-Pogo actually got its start here in York County.
This fair, people have come up to us. They've offered us food, drink, and everything from the stands, and it's just really a nice environment to be in.
The York Fair is really cool. I like it. It's a lot more laid back than a lot of the fairs that I've done. It's really fun. The people are really nice. There's a lot of fun things to do. The CEO of X-Pogo, the company that we run for, is actually from York, Pennsylvania, so that's a fun fact. Yeah.
I really liked it. It's pretty new, and they got some great tricks to offer. They did lots of flips, and it just got everyone really excited.
My favorite's the aerial. That's when I basically do a front flip 180, the pogo stick stays there, and I do a front flip 180 and I land on the other side. And there's a lot of different ones. Tone's got a whole different bag of tricks that he can do.
Probably the craziest trick that I can throw consistently is it's called a reverse front flip, and basically it's kind of what it sounds like. Instead of just a regular front flip that you would do on the pogo stick, you actually pass it behind your back before you do the flip, and you do it with it behind your back. So go check out xpogo.com.
Yeah, xpogo.com, hashtag Pogomina, hashtag Xpogo, Xpogotone.
Yep.
For WCAT TV, this has been Magdalena Jervis reporting.
Those guys threw down some sick tricks, man.
Yeah, I bet they ate some serious food at the end of the day.
Speaking of food, didn't Tyler Warwick sit down with the owner of one of the most popular stands at the fair?
Let's take a look.
The York Fair is filled with interesting people, fun games, and of course delicious foods. Our focus is on some of the most interesting foods that the fair has to offer. Primarily the unique gourmet grilled cheese stand.
Robert Harriman, I am the owner of Meltdown Gourmet. 2 years ago we booked a couple shows. I got accepted, so I went out, bought a setup. Driving on our way down there, we made up the menu, and our menu stuck ever since.
With so many choices on the menu, it was hard to decide which one we wanted to try.
One of my favorite items, barbecue chicken mac and cheese with bacon. Or the verde, that's American provolone, pesto and tomato, and then I like to add avocado on it.
But we ended up going with the one that seemed most bizarre to us, the cinnamon apple goat cheese grilled cheese. When we finally got to try the sandwich, it was absolutely delicious. As we expected, there was plenty of great food and fun at the fair. From the fair, this has been Tyler Warwick reporting for Wildcat Television.
Know what that story made me ready for?
No?
Dessert.
Oh yeah, let's check out Zach and Matt's story about an ice cream stand from North Carolina.
North Carolina? What's so special about their ice cream that they would travel all the way to York, PA for the fair?
I don't know, but let's find out.
If you visited the York Fair this year, you may have smelled Goat Mountain or seen many strange animals. But have you had John's ice cream? If you smelled burning oil, heard the sound of a gasoline engine, or maybe even saw this contraption, you were very close to tasting some of the best ice cream at the fair. Yes, you saw right. A gasoline engine churning ice cream.
Okay, I have a 5-gallon vessel that goes in. It's a stainless steel vessel. It's got cream and milk and sugar in it and vanilla flavoring and whatever fruits and stuff we put in it.
John's wife vividly remembers the first time that she saw this contraption.
They were odd to me when I first saw them. I had never seen one until I met him.
As people walk by, they have the same reaction as John's wife did many years ago. They can't help but notice the distinct taste as well.
Very good. Thank you.
It also brings back memories of a childhood long ago.
Yes, oh yeah, we used to do this when we were kids. My mom would say, time to make homemade ice cream. Well, we'd go down to the creek in the wintertime, and we'd have to break the ice off the creek, and then we'd haul it up.
Fond memories are made at the fair all the time, but very rarely can this type of nostalgia be felt at the York Fair. It certainly made a memory for this patron.
I think it's neat.
With so many stories, memories, and good flavor, John's Ice Cream hopefully will be around for a long time. For WCAT TV, this has been Zach Kleindens reporting.
Hey, that was pretty neat.
Personally, I think there's a lot better story up next.
I agree. We got to sit down with two of the most interesting men in the world.
Now that's a little bit of a stretch.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy this story produced by Frankie and I.
The 2014 York Fair had a first-year attraction.
Group of us in our church, we just like trains, and we said, what can we do to be a group? And we kind of just grew from that. Other people joined our group, and so we just used the church's name as Still Meadow Nazarene Church, and we used the part of the logo, and we thought Still Meadow Crossing, and that's how we came up with the name for our group.
What makes this attraction even more interesting is that the group is from right here in York, PA.
We're based right here in the York area. In fact, it was in my garage where we first set up. This is the first year we've ever been in here. Now, we've been to other events, like when the Train Collectors Association comes to York here, and at the West Manchester Mall at Christmas, we've been there.
The whole experience is very impressive, having 3 different layouts.
The big layout here, which measures 65 feet by 25 feet, is O gauge. We have a 8-foot by 12-foot HO layout over here, and then there's a G scale over here running.
People of all ages enjoy the sights and sounds of the trains.
Older people like myself or even older come in here and say, you know, it's like, I remember when that was the thing when we were growing up, was the trains around the tree. When you see the steam engines running around here and some of the buildings they see and what we've done, and they pick out various things on platforms on different areas that they like.
One of the most impressive parts of the display were the stained glass buildings built by one of their own.
My name's Ron Dubs, and I've been with the group now for about 4 years. Well, the stained glass has always been a hobby of mine, and I decided to try to combine the two hobbies together, the stained glass and the trains. So that's how I got into making the buildings out of stained glass for on my display.
That's really cool. See little kids and they come here and they hang on the outside of the platform and they're just looking and how their eyes are open. That's great.
This has been Frankie Marquette and Jordan Green reporting for Wildcat TV.
Choo choo, what a story that was.
Okay, Jordan.
The fair is also known for its animals.
Nate and Brendan found a unique animal attraction where the owner has a heart as big as her horses.
The York Fair is famous not only for a variety of delectable foods, drinks, and rides, but for the family-oriented appeal of the exotic animals and petting zoo. We talked to a few individuals involved with the fair's multiple animal attractions.
I'm Joshua Watkins. I work at Eudora Farms. I am the operator of the pony rides. I enjoy the connections we make with people. We like to spread all the knowledge of the animals and whatnot. I mostly like to make them laugh, smile, educate them a bit about what we do. I like to travel around. I get to see different parts of the world. You get to go to different cities, different places, different fairs, all kinds of interesting people and things to do around here.
Animals are just as important to the fair as much as anything else is. Animals take a lot of care to maintain and live healthy, fulfilling lives. Sometimes people take advantage of these creatures, and it takes a hero like Kelly Smith to save them.
Well, I grew up with horses, and I attended an auction 25 years ago where horses were being sold for slaughter, and I could not believe what I saw, and that started the whole chain of events with us rescuing horses. The animal cruelty statute laws in the state of Pennsylvania are way far behind of what they need to be in order to actually hold people accountable to the cruelty that we actually see. Well, horses are an amazing creature, and they have a lot to give us and teach us. And I know I'm not done learning, and anybody who's been around any animal, they have a lot to offer us and give us, and they deserve to be treated with kindness.
For Wildcat Television, this has been Brendan McKinsey reporting.
Many of you may know Bailey Druck, a Dallas Town senior, for his wrestling abilities.
However, there's a whole nother side of Bailey that many of you may not know.
Let's go to the stables for a closer look.
When people hear the York Fair is coming to town, many get excited for the food and games, but Dallastown's Bailey Druck is too busy preparing for the livestock showing.
My dad did it when he was younger, and we started when we were young, and we've been around cattle, and we live on a farm.
Showing cattle has been in the Druck family for 3 generations.
I started coming to the York Fair when I was about 10 years old, so it's been quite a long time. Well, my dad was in the cattle business, and we got to showing cattle when I was in a 4-H club when I started when I was 10 years old. And there was a time, of course, where I didn't have any kids or anything, and then once I started having boys, it was like, it's a good opportunity to get the kids involved.
I was in 3rd grade. I got a calf, so a heifer. I just got one, just to start, so my grandpa gave it to me. Every day you have to feed them, and they have fresh water, and occasionally you have to walk them and work with them.
We live on a small farm, so we have the land and acreage to have cattle. One of the things that's kind of unique about York County, and a lot of people don't realize that York County's #1 business is agriculture. And you know, it doesn't take long to drive around some of the outskirts of York and you see there's a lot of agriculture. And I just thought it would be a good idea to get the kids involved in something, outside of school.
Probably hanging out with my friends, and you build friendships that last a long time. So.
The fair is one of the many shows that the Drucks get involved in, but not the only one.
We've been to some regional shows. We've been down to Virginia. We've been to different parts of Pennsylvania. Of course, the farm show is a big show here. And a couple years ago, they had the National Junior Angus Show in Harrisburg, which was a really big deal because it's a show where they have over 1,100 head of cattle show up. And to have it in our backyard was really neat.
Even though the Drucks are a very busy family, they'll still make time for the fair in the years to come.
We've become like a big family here. You make friendships that last a long time, and you have a common interest, so it's always fun to get together a couple times a year and talk about cattle.
Yeah. Showing cattle, it's kind of just something you do. Yeah, no big deal.
For WCAT-TV, this has been Bree Worley and Kirsten Laird reporting.
Wow, who would have guessed one of Dallastown's own participated in the fair?
On a more serious note, Chad and Andrew found a food stand with a deeper meaning.
Most people go to the fair to look at different farm animals or to get different fried foods, but this stand has a special story.
My nephew was killed Christmas Eve 2013, and he was hit by a car.
He loved the military, but he didn't like the killing part. He wanted to save people's lives.
With the same thought in mind as his son, he also wanted to help save lives, so he started his own business.
His father travels the world over and seen this restaurant in like Amsterdam and overseas, and they do really well, so he said, let's try and do this here because there's nothing around like it.
Starting something new could be challenging for some, but for him, it's turning out well.
I kind of morphed just walking and running together.
That people like it, and so far we've had nothing but compliments on our food.
The food is really, really good.
This was the first time they started the stand, and they planned for nothing but to get bigger.
we hope to start a restaurant, be successful, start another one, be successful, and do another one, and go from there.
Go to Walk Runner.
This has been Chad Jones reporting for WCAT TV.
That was awesome. Thanks for the story, guys.
We saved the best for last.
Hey, I thought the train story was the best.
Stop tooting your own horn, Jordan. Ha, get it?
No. But here's our final segment, a racing story with a twist.
David Feemster has been drawing in crowds for years.
The whole idea about the hot dog pig racing came when I was building a Calliope wagon, and I had gone into Lancaster to have the Amish build the springs and stuff for the wagon, and I pulled into a parking space and there was a sign there that said miniature dachshunds in front of it, and it kind of stuck in my mind that that would be funny.
But not only does he race pigs, he also races dachshunds.
I had been doing the pig races, and actually we were doing a pig and duck race at the time. And what happened, like I say, I saw that sign, thought it would be funny, and so 3 months later I went and picked up Oscar, and from there on we've had the hot dog pig races.
David started out doing skunk and pig races, but more recently has introduced hot dog racing. The dogs are a fan favorite here at the races.
So what's your favorite thing about the fair?
Seeing the pigs.
Fans of all ages seem to enjoy the dog races.
They're so cute running around here. So yeah, but I like dogs.
David has been doing the pig races for well over a decade.
With the hot dogs for 9 years with Oscar, and with the pig races about 18 years.
The dogs have devoted almost as much time as David has.
Dogs are dachshunds. They're range in age from 7 months old to 9 years old, which is Oscar.
Racing pigs used to only be David's summer job, but he retired from being a teacher to do it.
I taught in Jackson, New Jersey. I taught there for 32 years.
Go! They're up and running. Here they go. Down the track, around the third, up the back, down the back there. Move, quick to the three, go into the third. It's going to be a fast first race there. Here we go. Look at that.
Hot dog! Those were some exciting races.
Hot dog, what a story.
Too bad this episode of Wildcat Connection is coming to an end.
Oh, what?
Yeah, sadly that was the last story.
Well, it looks like that wraps up our first episode of Wildcat Connection.
We hope you all enjoyed watching all of our fair experiences.
Make sure to check out more videos at wildcat.tv. Thanks for watching.